The reading is taken from Luke chapter 24, verses 50 to 52. The ascension of Jesus. When he had led them out to the vicinity of Bethany, he lifted up his hands and blessed them. While he was blessing them, he left them and was taken up into heaven. Then they worshipped him and returned to Jerusalem with great joy. And they stayed continually at the temple, praising God.
I don't think I will ever forget the sight of his hands reaching out and blessing us. It all happened so quickly, and now that it's actually happened, I'm at a bit of a loss to know what to do now, if I'm honest. I guess the signs had been there that something like this was going to take place. Hints that Jesus had made at different times, returning to the Father, talk of his Father's house, preparing a place. Though when we heard these things the first time, maybe we chose to pretend that he hadn't actually said them. The thought of him going away was one that was just too hard for us to get our heads around. Something we just didn't want to face. I, for one, had heard it, but didn't hear it, if you get my drift. Classic ostrich moment. After we lost him the first time, after the execution, you would never have believed how happy we were over these days. Those precious but fleeting moments. Peace be with you. Don't be afraid. Do not doubt. Come and have some breakfast. And I, for one, saw him eat. No ghost, he ate. I swear it. And just as we were all starting to process these moments and wanting to hold on to them forever, and wanting to hold on to him forever, we were asked to go to the mountain. I'll never forget the sight of his hands reaching out and blessing us. I suppose deep down I knew that this was going to be the leaving that I knew would happen, inevitable in its way. But I didn't want it. And I've never voiced that to the others. As always, on that mountain, he gave us things to chew over. We now have a job to do, to go, to tell, to share the good news, to be the good news. I hope he was right when he said that we'd be given the things that we needed to say when we needed them. It does feel all a bit overwhelming, if I'm honest. I know the chances are I probably won't really remember everything in years to come that he said on that mountain just before he left, but I'll never forget the hands. You see, he was blessing us. He'd prayed blessing over us so many times, but this blessing felt so particularly meaningful, so final in a way. And it was as he was blessing us that he went. It was the very last thing that we saw, at least it was the very last thing I saw. His blessing, his hands reaching out, were, if you like, a parting gift. Again, I can't remember all that he said, but I can see his hands now stretched out. And I think I always will. Lifted high, scarred, brutally scarred. Those huge nails. But hands that looked as if they were healing a bit. Yeah, I think they were definitely healing. He blessed with hands that had known so much pain. Hands that had been tied, bound, held down. Strong hands that had worked hard in the workshop. And yet hands that had touched tenderly, meaningfully. Hands that had healed. Hands that had reached out and touched the dirty, the unimaginably dirty, the untouchable, the unlovable. There seemed to be no barriers to his love. And hands that lifted bread and broke it, and lifted wine with an invitation to share it. Hands that have wiped tears from other people's eyes and from his own. And hands that we regularly saw reaching out when he prayed. It's funny, I don't always remember the words, but I can see his hands in so many of these moments over these past 3 years. It's what comes back to me as I remember. I'm walking back home now, just wanting to be by myself for a bit. The others have gone to Jerusalem, to the temple. I'll probably join them later. But for now, I just need to be alone with my thoughts. The others have known that I've often needed to do this. I know there's talk of the Spirit of truth, he called it. And now there are whispers and there are wonderings. But today I just need some space. And I'm not ashamed of my tears as I walk. I need to let these out. Liquid prayers, somebody once said to me. And he knew tears. And as I walk, it's almost as if I can hear him say to me, I've blessed you today, but you and yours are the hands to do the blessing now. My hands are now your hands. My life is in you. Abide in me as I abide in you. I do remember that one. My mission is now yours, and yours are the hands. So I look at my hands, and he continues. Yours Yours are the hands to reach out with compassion to those who need to know tenderness, kindness, welcome, acceptance, and love. Yours are the hands to comfort. Yours are the hands to heal. Yours are the hands to bless. I will always remember his hands. I see them in my mind's eye, especially today. And I look again at mine.